Imagine the essentials you need every day. Covering the costs for the basics can feel like an insurmountable mission. For many of us, whether we're filling up at the gas station or shopping in the grocery aisles, it's not hard to imagine the stress of having to cover the bare necessities.
Meanwhile, news reports point to a thriving economy and soaring corporate profits.
The gross domestic product exceeding expectations.
The latest jobs report is proof again of a labor market that has been resilient and often stronger than expected.
The American economy is not just strong, it's also powered ahead of the European Union, the UK, Japan, and other advanced economies.
I don't feel like it really makes sense. The cost of food, just like the cost of living, I feel like the economy is not thriving in my eyes.
We need to focus on the people who are most vulnerable in society to determine if our economy is doing well. And by that marker, it's not.
I got hit by a car in 2018 by a drunk driver. I ended up having a brain injury. I couldn't really manage a lot, and my housing was at risk. I ended up getting displaced.
Most people do not feel like they are thriving, and many are overwhelmed by their wages, not keeping up with the prices of everything.
People don't understand when you're in these types of situations how much of a burden it is to the family. You know, how could you go to school or work when you're working, you still can't even get by? Or, you know, the kids have to face that burden too of seeing their mom not being able to provide.
The good news is there should be no shame in our struggle to take care of our families.
Hear us out. America has the tools to eradicate poverty right now.
And one of them is called guaranteed income. Guaranteed income is a way to get cash to those of us who need it,
without forcing people to navigate a sea of forms and paperwork, allowing them access regardless of income or immigration status.
The government provides regular, unconditional payments to ensure everyone has basic financial security.
If you get sick, you'll still have a home.
If your car breaks down, you can pay for the repair.
If you need more groceries with your kids home during summer break, you can supplement your budget.
You know, I'm not like living in survival mode. I don't have to borrow money. It's like financial freedom to have your own money that's coming in every month and not have to worry all the time.
This isn't a new idea, and it's not an untested theory either.
Now, one of the answers, it seems to me, is a guaranteed annual income for all people and for all families of our country.
I'd heard of guaranteed income from studying Dr. King in college, so I was familiar with the idea.
They got $500 a month for 2 years. What did you find?
Just a small amount of money was enough, not for people to become millionaires, but for people not to be evicted, for people to take care of their children, for people to be able to pay to get their car fixed, for people to live and contribute to their communities.
The truth is, just like during the pandemic, direct cash to the people who make our economy work helps everybody.
And our nation can really prosper.
The United States recovered much better over the last couple of years in inflation compared to other countries. Why?
Because we made historic investments in the American people by giving cash directly to families with the expanded child tax credit and stimulus checks.
That's why cities across the country are experimenting with giving people cash.
And what are the results? When we prioritized families with the child tax credit, child poverty was cut in half.
And we saw a new level of business creation we haven't seen in decades.
When people have guarantees that bring stability to their lives, we can be less stressed about groceries or medicine.
And instead focus on taking care of our families, furthering our education, and pursuing the career of our dreams.
But with this money, I was able to go back to school and do my GED and then get prepared to go back in the work field. But having 3 kids that have disabilities, I'm limited, and this is giving me the opportunity to not sit back, but learn how to fight for what's right. I feel like if this was something that was official, it would make a huge difference in our community.
With the stability of a guaranteed income, what kind of creativity, ingenuity, or entrepreneurship would that free up for you? How would your life change? What dreams would you pursue?
This isn't a fairy tale. This isn't AI-generated imagery. This is a time of great change.
And it comes down to a choice.
We can decide to invest in children and families, or we can continue to do what hasn't been working. Let's decide together to choose to invest in ourselves and guarantee our families the stronger future we all deserve.
People's voices are amplified and our democracy demands change, we remind ourselves and our legislators that power does come
from the ground up.